Ankalaev is back against the Uzbeki Jason Statham. Honestly, I can't believe that the odds have got this, so heavily in favour of Ankalaev because Guskov actually has got hands, like I've always said that Jan Blachowicz has probably got one of the best chins in UFC history. Like, went 3 rounds with Pereira at altitude, you could clearly see how much he was feeling the pace in that fight. And Pereira never really stung him, like it's very hard to get Jan Blachowicz respect on the feet, and Bogdan Guskov dropped him. Now, granted, this was a much older Jan Blachowicz, but you got to think about who Jan's been in there with, like prime Adesanya, prime Pereira, Ankalaev. Jan Blachowicz got a very stacked resume, and he's not been dropped a lot, so that's something to think about. But the problem is with Bogdan Guskov, he's a very back foot fighter. He won't be advancing, and that's an issue against someone with like Ankalaev, who you kind of need to bring the fight to him and make it a little bit chaotic to get anywhere, because he's so surgical and methodical on the outside. But I genuinely think that someone like Bogdan Guskov, who's very heavy boxing style, because Ankalaev's seen it all with these kickboxers, they try and stay on the outside, piecing him up, but it never works. The only way to beat Ankalaev is with the hands, like in the Pereira 2, where he were forgetting all the, making it pretty on the outside, just ran at him, and obviously landed that big overhand and stuff. So I think that Guskov definitely has a chance to land like a nice uppercut when Ankalaev's coming in, or a big overhand or whatever. I can definitely see it happening. But I mean, looking at the Volkan Ozdemir fight, I can just see that playing out similar to that. Ankalaev, landing shots of his own, dropping Bogdan Guskov. Because let's face it, Ankalaev was prepared for 5 rounds in this fight. Guskov is taking this on short notice. He was supposed to be fighting Jan in the rematch. He was only prepared for 3. So I don't know how that's going to play into fact, because Ankalaev is very hard to get out of there. So I think Ankalaev is going to have some success on the feet. Maybe drop Guskov going into the 3rd or the 4th, and then get him out of there with a submission. Because we know how good Ankalaev is on the ground once it gets there. He just has issues getting it there, from time to time. So I think this is going to be close. I really do. Guskov's got a good chance, but I'm going to go with Ankalaev by a submission in round 4.